There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer. If you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. If you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you finally know the truth, that a hero lies in you. Now it's a long road when you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. When you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. The Lord knows dreams are hard to follow, but don't let anyone tell them away. Hold on, there will be tomorrow. In time, you'll find a way. Then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. And when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be good, and you know that you're the truth, that a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you.
Suzanne Palmer, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Aaron, and I am representing the State of Illinois Special Services Department. I'm here today to speak to you about additional changes that the Director of Investigations will be implementing today. In the state of Illinois, there are 9 forensic laboratories. Unfortunately, it's not enough, because as of February 2019, the Illinois State Police Division of Forensic Services Auditor General announced that it will take a minimum of 2 years to clear the backlog of DNA-based cases. The Director found this statement unacceptable and has officially decided to outsource some of the backlog cases to forensics, DNA testing, and technologies, with Chief Scientific Officer Carl Reich, an accredited, highly qualified, and independent forensics laboratory. This laboratory is accredited for DNA testing. It is a facility that conceives, develops, manufactures, markets, and services forensic labs worldwide. The staff consists of 60 years of combined experience of DNA and human identification, along with other related scientific fields. Their services will ensure that backlog cases will be reviewed and tested in a shorter time than originally expected. The Director of Investigations is now implementing the Just Track It program for Illinois. The Just Track It program was created by a state representative out of Washington, D.C. named Tina Overall. This program has made it mandatory to have tracking and notifications of rape kits. By adding a tracking barcode to rape kits, it allows survivors to track their rape kits every step of the way so that they have comfort knowing their cases are being processed. Director Clark has made all of the necessary arrangements to ensure that this program will be effective as of September of 2019. The decision to correlate these matters will hopefully provide an easier process for the cases to be handled in the future. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Carmen. I'm here representing the Illinois Executive Branches and Judicial Committee, as well as the Secretary of State. The State Executive Branch is split into several statewide elected officials, as you have the governor, who is the chief executive and the head of state. It has numerous departments, agencies, boards, and commissions. Now today, we're here to talk about the Judiciary Committee and their decision to support the Illinois anti-sexual violence policy. It was a unanimous decision to move forward with this policy, despite the legal controversy over the discrepancies within the Illinois statutes. Review of the law states that the statute of limitation on crimes of sexual assault in any degree, with the exclusion of child molestation, has a 10-year expiration to prosecute in cases of rape, sexual assault, and aggravated sexual assault. Now bear in mind, this is a highly controversial issue within the legislation. That's why on May 28, 2019, the Illinois legislation and the Illinois Judiciary Committee had discussions about the anti-sexual violence policy. Illinois has some of the most progressive laws in this field, so adjustments have been made to make this policy agreeable within both parties. An individual who has been identified by DNA testing through the Illinois crime laboratories as an assailant or offender in cases of sexual violence past a 10-year period cannot be prosecuted by any local or government law enforcement agency. The Illinois Anti-Sexual Violence Act will allow the person to be retested. If the DNA still matches the processed rape kit, the Judiciary Panel will review it and ultimately make the decision to enter the processed information into the criminal database and the sexual offender registry. If the individual is unable to be located and the Judiciary Panel finds that the originally submitted DNA is enough to find the individual responsible for the crime under the policy guidelines. If the individual has been previously entered into the DNA database and it matches any backlogged sexual assault cases, the individual's record will be documented through the Illinois Anti-Sexual Violence Policy. Again, this is not a conviction. It serves as a notification to local and state law enforcement agencies that the individual was identified through DNA as a match in a sexual assault case. Now, at any time, it is welcomed for an individual or any individual who has been deemed an offender of any backlog case in Illinois to be retested by an accredited DNA laboratory at the state's expense to disprove the other documented results. After review of the panel, if the DNA does not match the processed kit, the individual's name will be removed from all local and state registries. All offenders and or assailants that fall into the guidelines of the Illinois Anti-Sexual Violence Policy will be notified by the state agencies of this new policy, and said agencies will accept any disputes to dismiss the claims. Thank you for your attention.
Good afternoon. I'm Representative Judge Newell. I'm here not only representing the judge, but I'm representing the victims. I have been assaulted and raped on numerous occasions in my life. Unlike many of these victims in Robbins, I didn't have the courage to go to the police station and report my horrible, horrible situations. I think what Director Clark is doing today is going to change so many things for our country and for women like me who are too scared to step up and speak the truth. We need this new time in our lives now to stop this horrific violence, not only against women, but men too, children, teenagers, even senior citizens. So, with that in mind, I want to thank you, Director Clark, on behalf of all of us victims, for caring so much and stepping up and doing such noble work. I cannot express my gratitude well enough, but I do know that the time is now, and the truth is out, and we will survive, and we will thrive. Yes, we will. At this time, I'd ask for just a few minutes of music before Director Clark comes up. Another minute, folks. Not yet. One more song, please. The rest of us can cry if we want. City Lights Orchestra. Thank you so much. And now continue to put your hands together for the most fabulous, our new Director of Special Investigations, Candace Clark.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I was not expecting all of this today. I wasn't prepared. But I'm not going to speak very long because all of the people that came up today really said the words that I wanted to say. And, and it really meant a lot that everyone was on the same page as myself. I appreciate everyone for coming out, and I appreciate people wanting the same things that I'm wanting and looking for justice the same way that I'm looking for justice. You know? So, with that being said, I'm not going to hold you. Do I?
Are we ready to sign?
Yes.
We're going to start signing some things here, folks. The first will be the Anti-Sexual Violence Policy Executive Order. This one is the order to ensure ethical and a responsive agreement. And last, Just Track It program, statewide agreement. All right, I think that's it. Why don't you have a seat? Let's put our hands together. I'm sorry, I was rushing the program here. The question and answer period. Do we have any? We already have someone with a question.
Will you at any time work on cases that the state's attorney's office has filed against the Chicago Police Department?
Don't look at me, I didn't make that up.
Yes, I will. I believe justice is justice, and it goes in every aspect of the law. So yes, I will.
Yes.
Have there been any registered sex offenders linked to any of the backlog cases?
Yes, actually, after reviewing some of the cases in Robbins, there was one individual that we have to protect his identity today, has been identified 6 times in the backlog cases.
Wow. Any other questions? Go ahead, sir.
I understand that you're working with the Innocent Project. Is there an update you can give us or any information on the case you're working on?
I'm glad you asked me that today. Yes, I am working on a case of Elias Diaz. Elias Diaz was arrested in 2009 for a murder that he did not commit. He was sentenced to 60 years incarceration, and there's so many avenues to this case. I wanted to bring that out to light. I know there's someone here from the Illinois Crime Commission that can help me out, and I want to put her on blast a little bit because the Diaz family is here today, and they're seeking justice for their family member as well. Elias Diaz was arrested and charged and convicted on 2 testimonies of convicted felons that the village of Aurora, the state police department, and the FBI department financially funded their testimony. I can't get into much detail because we're working on the case right now, but he's incarcerated based on those 2 testimonies only. And we are trying to overturn it at this time.
Go ahead, back.
So in April of this year, there was a lot of media coverage concerning, a possible serial killer in the Chicago area. They said he had possibly killed over 50 women. So would you consider reviewing these cases? And if possibly, some of the family members ask for you to review these cases, would you consider reviewing them as well?
I'm not sure. We'll take that under consideration.
There is a protocol that is in place with the Chicago Police Department that they have to investigate and handle particular cases. Once it gets to a cold case file, then it goes to another department, and then another department. At this time, I've been made aware of that situation, but I was not offered or asked to assist. And if someone individually liked me to do it, after seeking counsel from those agencies, I would consider it.
How long do you perceive that it will take for the anti-sexual violence policy to be implemented?
It is implemented as of today.
I think that's a great way to end this. Thank you all for coming. We have food and beverage for you. Please help yourself. I'm sure that if you'd like to meet the director, she would love to meet you as well. I think, are we closing with a song?
We're going to play for a little section, so don't.
All right. All right, let's put our hands together.